Hello everybody, dear friends, dear astrology lovers, dear English-speaking followers. My name is Olga Vasilchuk and I would like to present you today a video where I will discuss the transit planetary aspects for 2 weeks from August 26, which will be the full moon in Pisces, until September 8, 2018. My friends, today's video will be pretty short and very positive, very luminous, because the very difficult time, the very tense and conflictual season of eclipses is behind us. Actually, we will get out definitely from the orb of the season of eclipses in 2 weeks after the new moon in Virgo on September 9th, because this date, the new moon of September 9th, will mark 1 month after the new moon in Leo and the solar eclipse in Leo of August 11th. Okay, but in any case, the worst, the most difficult time is behind, when we went through the 3 eclipses during one single season, and we had 5 or even 6 planets in their retrograde movement at the same time. So all this is almost behind us, and I have very good news for you today. I would like just, before to start talking about the transits, I would like to mention that I created a page on my website dedicated to the astrological school. I will publish new lessons on my website directly. So if you want to receive news from me, if you want to know when a new lesson is published, you are free, of course, to subscribe to my newsletters. On my website, I'm also present on Facebook, on Twitter, etc. Yes, the second lesson is almost ready. You know, it takes time to prepare the material, to record the presentations, and you know that I do it in 3 languages. But each lesson will last for 2 hours. It will contain very serious and concentrated information. So stay tuned. The lesson number 2 is almost here. So let's get back to our transits. The predominance of planets in feminine signs after August 22nd will force us to focus on internal activity. We would like to organize our life, to change, to elevate the level of our knowledge and of our education. We will be interested by questions of morality. I remind you that feminine signs are the signs belonging to the element of earth and water, right? This will allow us to build relationships by developing acceptance, sensitivity, the ability to hear and to listen to others. From August 24th, after August 24th, due to the prevalence of planets in the earth element, we can manifest conservatism and attachment to dogmas, reluctance to change something and to evolve. So what about our full moon on August 26th, 7:56 a.m., the time of New York, in the 3rd degree of Pisces, will be pretty emotionally complex, but at the same time very constructive. The full moon coincides with the square Venus-Pluto and with the stationary phase of Mars, because you remember that Mars has been retrograde for a while and will get direct on the 27th of August. The ideas that were born at the time of the new moon of August 11th, which was the solar eclipse in Leo, will pass now the test of reality. They will have to be revised in order to remain viable. The axis of the full moon forms a configuration that is called the kite. Actually, the full moon, the position Sun-Moon, is a part of the planetary, of the pattern of aspects, which is called the kite. We agree, all of us, we agree that a series of eclipses has tired us, right? What we went through in July and August, and here you are. For all those who survived, there is a bonus. This full moon in Pisces will be the first serious lunar phase without incidents, in addition giving more opportunities than the ordinary full moon. The usual opposition of the masculine, the sun, the masculine energy, yang, and the feminine, the moon, the feminine energy, the passive energy, yin, This, during this full moon, is smoothed and harmonized by an exceptionally lucky configuration, the Kite. This is the time to correct the mistakes of the summer, and not only of the summer, to calm conflicts in relationships, to revive frozen and abandoned projects, to make money, to earn money, and to have pleasure. This configuration, the Kite, is a classic example of brilliant opportunities. It would be a pity to miss them. You remember 2 days ago there was the configuration of the big triangle. The Sun, Saturn and Uranus forming trines between them, right? So there was a big trine. This configuration is still alive. So it's like a background. In addition to this, the Sun in Virgo in opposition to the Moon in Pisces, and the Moon forms at the same time two sextiles, sextile to Saturn and sextile to Uranus. Okay, so the big trine, opposition inside of this trine, and two sextiles, the Kite. So as a rule, the full moon brings clarity, awareness, helps us to reveal imperfection of the situation and to correct these imperfections. But the energies of the sign of Pisces, where the moon will be placed, situated, makes it barely possible. So the last week of the month we will live rather by our emotions, our intuition, than by our mental. But our intuition will work very well, giving us a lot of clues and sometimes inexplicable but valuable advice. I think that this full moon will also bring us emotional clarity. It will allow us to understand better our own needs, and will clarify the situation. For example, in a difficult, complicated situation in a professional field, will help us to find the best option that we're looking for and to get out of, will help us to get out of congestion, blockages. As I said, at the moment of the full moon, we have the square of Venus and Pluto on August 26. A square Venus-Pluto can create problems and challenges in personal affairs and creative activities, in the material and financial sphere, and also in partnership relationships. Selfish people during this period can face serious property losses or serious conflicts with their partners. At the same time, people who do not only have their personal benefit in mind could experience a new momentum in their creativity, discover new sources of income, and engage in new relationships. However, in any case, the change of occupation as well as construction of new relationships will be painful. It will happen in the context of worries and stress. Because square Venus-Pluto, this is the extreme manifestation of the theme of Venus. However, Venus here is rather strong than oppressed, but its force is excessive. Love, sex, money, and pleasure, the symbols of Venus, everything tends to go overflow the edge. So we have to remember this and to control ourselves in potentially dangerous situations, and they are possible. It's probable that they will happen, these potentially dangerous situations. However, if we are trying to impress someone, this is the right time for that. And from this moment, after August 26, 27, the positive begins, because Mercury is already direct, you remember, and Mars is going, is finishing its retrograde phase and starting its direct movement. So on August 27th, Mars gets direct in the 28th degree of Capricorn. It means that the end of the month will be more successful when after Mars returns to its direct movement. Commercial and professional activity will be very efficient, because the energy of Capricorn contributes to achieving tangible and concrete results in everything we do. As a result, by the end of August, we will have success in implementing projects and professional plans that require especially clear and coordinated action of the team members in order to achieve the ultimate common goal. But it's recommended to take more care of others because otherwise in the pursuit of success we can forget those who are at our side. On August 28, Mercury squares Jupiter. This is the last aspect of Mercury and Jupiter as a part of, in the context of the retrograde loop of Mercury. Because the previous square Mercury-Jupiter was formed on, remember, on August 11th during the new moon and the solar eclipse, but Mercury was retrograde at this moment. So these days, 28 plus minus 2 days, the tasks that we set, the goals that we set during the first half of July and that were related to the agreements on our creative plans and on our financial possibilities will finally be solved. The aspect creates difficulties and tensions in being understood by and accepted by society. There's a risk of the distorted perception of the information. Therefore, this is not the best time to plan very important presentations, conferences, and round tables. Be wary of empty words and promises. Do not believe unfounded rumors. Flee manipulation by information. The manifestation of this aspect of of the square this time is lighter than that of the previous square on August 11th. But we should remember that if we brag too much, it can offend other people and it can hurt also ourselves. So temperance is desirable, and also the silence is gold during the square Mercury-Jupiter. September 3rd, Mercury is in sextile to Venus. This day we will be painted with harmony between feelings and reason. There will be the atmosphere of indolence as well as a strong attraction for the opposite sex. So romantic relationships will start easily, and this day is favorable to leisure, rest, travels, and visits. We have one ingression during the next 2 weeks. Mercury leaves the sign of Leo, where it stayed for a while, because our poor Mercury lived the retrograde loop in the sign of Leo. It will enter the sign of Virgo on September 6th. It will stay in the sign of Virgo, in the sign of its rulership, until the 22nd of September. When Mercury transits by the sign of Virgo, we see life in details, and we connect all parts in one ordered system. All the difficult questions are divided into small parts and analyzed in pieces step by step. So thanks to this we can come to the clear understanding of an entire situation or of a complex problem. And on September 7th we have 3 very interesting aspects. Actually there is one configuration, one pattern, and one aspect. First of all, the Sun in Virgo is in a position to Neptune in Pisces. It's a very emotional moment. It will be a very emotional moment. We will not be able to properly assess the situation, and so we can easily become victims of our own illusory fantasies, victims of fraud and intrigue. These days we should not engage in trade negotiations, conclude important agreements. We must be very careful. We should not say anything that could be interpreted as a lie. This is the problem of Neptune when it forms square or opposition. Use drugs only strictly according to the doctor's prescription, and of course we have to avoid alcohol. The transit provokes such a state when we ask ourselves the question how to meet the needs of our inner self, where to apply our efforts and our will. But our ambitions will remain, I'm afraid, unfortunately, unsatisfied. Our main objectives and intentions will not be realized, satisfied, because of the obstacle that may appear maybe unsurmountable. Perhaps because, actually, starting from the beginning, we set unrealistic goals. It's better to show patience and philosophical attitude to life. during the opposition Sun-Neptune. But we are saved somehow. This aspect is smoothed by a gorgeous big trine in the signs of Earth. Mercury in Virgo, Saturn in Capricorn, and Uranus in Taurus form big trine on September 7th. We will be visited by new and original ideas. Intuition and faith in progress will allow us to recognize new opportunities for success. In particular, it will concern practical questions. For example, how to find the outcome in a situation that seemed previously unsurmountable. This is thanks to the trine Mercury-Uranus. Thanks to the trine Mercury-Saturn, our thoughts will be concentrated, serious, and concrete at the same time. Thanks to the mental concentration, we will be able to succeed in one specific and particular sphere of activity. These days, any form of learning and studies, we will have success. The process of learning will pass easily, and if new ties are created, they can become a long-term relationship. Here you go. I promised you a very positive, constructive week. Happy full moon. Repair difficult situations of this summer. Stay tuned. I thank you for your attention, for your time, and I say you goodbye until the next, in 2 weeks. I talk to you in 2 weeks about the full new moon in Virgo on September 9th. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Take care.